Hello guys, NautoAce here, and this will be an extra video for the Summer Games Special 2022. And this one actually did not announce during the Summer Game Fest season. Let's just go with that one. This one actually was announced way before. So basically two big announcements that I am interested, that I want to give my thoughts on. So the first one is during the last week of May, doing the Star Wars Celebration weekend, or basically it's all about Star Wars, and they announced actually a game on that event, and that is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Yes, it's a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order that takes place prior to the trilogy, and you play as Cal Kestis, and the character is based on that actor who played as Vasquez in Gotham, that Batman drama on Fox Station. But it is what it is. Yeah, so it was announced during the Star Wars Appreciation Day, and according to the synopsis, that the story takes place 5 years event after the first game. So I was just like, oh, well, I mean, there was rumor, but I still didn't really believe it until they announced it, that, wow, they are doing a sequel. Because believe it or not, Jedi Fallen Order is a good game. From the people who did Titanfall, it's actually a good game. Like, it doesn't feel like a quote-unquote first-person shooter. I mean, yeah, they can do other games beside first-person shooter. I mean, Guerrilla was known for Killzone, and they did Horizon Forbidden West. Just think about that. But yeah, so I was shocked. Looks good. And of course, no surprise, this one I think is going to be only on the PlayStation, Xbox ecosystem, and PC. Yes, once again, no Switch, just like the first one. Again, you know, even so that the Switch sells, to some extent, you gotta have to admit it to some extent. I know people are gonna get mad, is that when it comes to the Switch as of right now, it's just stuck to 1080p, doesn't have a lot of power versus the PS5 and the Xbox Series XS. And if those are the only games you're gonna port it on, what do you think is going to happen? So, yeah, so, I mean, it is what it is. Unless you do a cloud version, of course, you got those Switch audience going upset about that, but that's a different story there. So, yes, awesome. Can't wait for it. It's going to be 2023. Like I said, I'm even excited. I want the company, any developer, to take their time, or you're going to have Halo Infinite or Cyberpunk 2077, and people are going to, you know, start crying. It is what it is there. But awesome. Got to give props to the event. Yeah, granted, Disney is being Disney woke, but there might be more than meets the eye of why they're doing that to some extent. And if you really are a Disney expert, I'm just going to say that you know what Disney's in the past is. Just saying. And if you don't, you can just search it. So you think Disneyland is a Disneyland, but the guy who created Disney is not a Disneyland person. Just saying that. But I digress. Not really my place to kind of give history about it, but there was something about it. But I don't know why I talk about Disney all of a sudden. Like, I know Star Wars got bought by Disney, but, and I'm also watching the Kenobi show. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, speaking of Disney, because I didn't realize that my topic was kind of like Disney related, is Kingdom Hearts actually did their presentation in April, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the franchise. So they actually revealed a lot of good things. So first, they revealed a Kingdom Hearts mobile game that's supposed to be taking place prior to the Kingdom Hearts trilogy. And it looks good for what it is for a mobile game, but it's not going to come out until like late 2022 to 2023. Again, mobile game, casual, easy to pick up to some extent. If you don't like mobile game, it is what it is. If they willing to put that mobile game on the console, sure, why not? Final Fantasy VII First Soldier has potential to some extent because it's like Fortnite, but in the world of Final Fantasy VII, but it's in the mobile, even so you can use the controller. Just saying there. Anyway, mobile Kingdom Hearts, a new one, because there was another one, and that one I think they kind of shut down the online part, but you can still play the offline in that game. But the biggest one that I did want to give my thoughts on is, yes, the rumors were true. Yes, a lot of this sequel. Sometimes there's always rumors and talk. I mean, maybe it's just too obvious because why stop if it's popular? And that is, yes, there is going to be Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh boy. So I'm not gonna basically tell the end of what happened to Kingdom Hearts 3 and what happened, why XYZ is happening on the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. But it's going to be a new story to some extent there. Let's just say that the Xenoheart story did end in Kingdom Hearts 3, but a lot of people had a feeling, and of course the rumor kind of boosted that, yeah, there will be a Kingdom Hearts 4. So there is. So Sora looks old, he looks more realistic, whatever. I mean, in each game he kind of looked older. Let's just go with that one. And apparently he's in a new reality world, but there's still Heartless there. And it is what it is. They showed some clip of the trailer. I don't know if it's going to be part of the game or it was just something to test, just to see the hype. And one of the part of the trailer is that Sora kind of used his Keyblade as a grappling hook. I don't know about that one, but it was a very teaser. But yeah, there is going to be Kingdom Hearts 4. And granted, for this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to come out in 2024 to 2025. Those Square Enix games do take a long time. Remember, Kingdom Hearts 3 took a long time because it was just hard to develop. But they did come out, and it is what it is. Yeah, it wasn't as awesome as it was first revealed in 2015. But again, it is what it is there. I played it, I finished it, I did enjoy it. It was a bit rushed in the story to some extent, I know, but it is what it is there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one's going to be 2024. And the reason why I said that, if you follow the Final Fantasy storyline from the State of Play in the 10th and, of course, the Final Fantasy 7 anniversary, they already show what games and when they're going to come out. So here's sort of the timeline. And so that's why I'm going to guess that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be 2024. The summer of 2023 will be Final Fantasy 16. And then winter of 2023 to 2024, because they just said next winter is Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, which is part 2 of that remake. So you kind of see it there. Late 2023 to 2024, and then maybe somewhere 2024 to 2025, it depends, Kingdom Hearts 4. Because there's a lot of games, those are ambitious. Yeah, granted that Final Fantasy 16, the guy's in charge is the guy who's doing Final Fantasy 14. I think people call him Yoshi P. But yeah, because that game sort of has a Final Fantasy 14 vibe to it. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, that's Tetsuya and Kitase. And then Kingdom Hearts, that's definitely going to be Tetsuya. So, and he done a lot of JRPG, and they are long. They are literally long. Oh, God bless his soul. So that's it for me, even so that I would like to play them as soon as possible. I know it's going to take a long time. So I'm wanting to take their time rather than and end up a Halo Infinite incident. So there's the timeline there. So overall, both games, awesome. I do want to play them, but I can't wait. Take their time because most of it, the earliest is going to be 2023 for Star Wars. And of course, like I said, Kingdom Hearts, probably going to be 2024, 2025. That's just my guess. Because it kind of makes sense, right? So both are awesome, what they showed. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if both of them are just going to be PS5 and Series XS. They might be nice enough to put it on the last gen, but definitely like Kingdom Hearts on the Switch, no, I don't think so. Not for Kingdom Hearts 4, since it was also announced that they're going to use the Unreal Engine 5. Yes, so they don't have their own engine. Well, they do, but apparently they don't work. Luminous apparently didn't work. Probably they should do re-engine, but I think for Kingdom Hearts 4, it was already been announced that they're going to use Unreal Engine 5. And then for the other game, I have no idea, but the bottom line is, again, Switch, it's either you don't get it or get a cloud version. Can't have your cake and eat it too. Just saying there. I'm sorry, because again, Nintendo do what Nintendo does, their own thing, and you're gonna say, oh, we don't compete with the other console. Sure, you're right, you don't. So you're not gonna get those high-grade performance games unless you want Game & Watch frame rate. You tell me. Again. So anyway, with that, I'll see you guys later.